These men were killed in U.S. drone strikes last year in Pakistan. Most of them were reported to have been affiliated with either Al-Qaeda or Taliban, but they are 1/6 of those who had died through missiles fired from unmanned U.S. military aircraft in 2015, or maybe even a smaller proportion. The Bureau of Investigative Journalism puts last year's drone death toll in Pakistan alone between 60 and 85 people. At least 5 of them were known to be civilians. Naming the Dead project, run by the Bureau, has been accumulating publicly available data, namely results of White House investigations and statements, as well as Al-Qaeda and Taliban propaganda. Something of an attempt to ensure better accountability for the drone strikes. Accountability such as the families of 2 persons on that list wanted to see. Westerners Giovanni Laporto and Warren Weinstein, both aid workers taken hostage by Al-Qaeda, were killed in a drone strike gone wrong on January 15, 2015. 3 months later, the White House admitted mistakenly killing the 2, even prompting an apology from President Obama himself. But how many more of those mistakes could be there? It's hard to tell, especially if we look at stats of identifying drone victims. Now, according to the Bureau, between 2004 and 2016, the total of 2,494 people have been killed by drone strikes in Pakistan, identified 729, which means 1,765 people remain nameless. As we can see, only a minority are ever identified, but the number of those named in 2015 was particularly low, 10 in what could be as many as 90. There's almost nothing known about the remaining dead. Most were described by militants as militants by intelligence and government officials. Pakistani officials had usually briefed the press on victims, but 2015 was the first year in a decade that they did not. It's unclear why it was different, particularly if we consider that in the neighboring Afghanistan, more than 100 names of drone strike victims were identified by the Bureau last year. So while investigative journalists are trying to find out who wants to keep those names secret, a concern is growing that such concealment creates a sizable gap in public understanding of the ongoing U.S. war in the region. Alexey Yaroshevsky, RT, reporting from Washington, D.C.